Welcome back to another episode of Sailing Oka Solo. In the last episode, we sail up the east side of Vancouver Island to the northern tip through the Johnstone Strait. And this time, not only we get a free generator that needs a little bit of TLC, but we leave Vancouver Island completely behind for the first time in 2 years. Yeah, that was nasty. That looks like water. Look at this shit. I've never seen a carburetor so dirty. It's pretty bad. This generator is actually from the house that I grew up in, which I grew up 5,000 kilometers away from here. So it's quite interesting that somehow I ended up with this generator, but just look at how gunked up that is. That's pretty bad. It's not so bad in the choke anyways, but like that shouldn't matter, but the jets are definitely pretty dirty. So I'm just gonna start by kind of bathing it in this degreaser. It's not carb cleaner, unfortunately, but it does the same thing. I also use this amazing tool. Is very hard to come by. A little toothbrush. Look at all that gunk. I'm trying to get the last of it, but it's pretty hard. It's hard to get leverage to scrape it. I couldn't get quite all of the gunk out of there, but it's definitely a lot better than it was. That was the front, I think. So I'll put it that way. Looks a lot better than it did before, that's for sure. So we're about halfway to God's Pocket from Port Hardy, but our range is within minutes from the dock, so I'm not going to take any chances, and I don't want to be too hard on the batteries either, so I'm just going to turn on the generator and give a bit of a test to see just how much I can get in speed. Well, right away that's a lot less annoying than having the little Honda on the side here. So here we are. We're finally leaving Vancouver Island after a year and a half, I guess, since I've reached towards the mainland. I guess like the Sunshine Coast is kind of mainland, but it doesn't count. Otherwise, the last time I've been here, this is Queen Charlotte Strait. It's one of the most beautiful days I've ever had here. Right now the current is still against us, so it makes for a bit of a choppy condition, but then when the current starts going with us, it should have more even waves. It's February 13 today, and it's about, I'd say, 5 degrees or so at the moment. It's not warm, but it's not horribly cold compared to some of the conditions that I've sailed in this winter. It looks like we'll get there around 8 or 9 o'clock. We're actually going to pull into a lodge which is getting renovated at the moment, and the company who is doing the renovations are friends of mine, so I'm going to stop in and bug them for a few days, because it's going to be northwesterly 20-30 knots for 3 days, and since I'm trying to go to the north, it's not ideal at all, so I'm going to wait that out until the next south winds. We're just approaching Pine Island over there, which is basically the last island before Queen Charlotte Sound, which is it's not quite open ocean, but it's pretty wide open. And normally this is where we feel a little bit more swell, and the swell actually today is 1 meter building to 2 meters later today, because the wind is about 10-15 knots at the moment, and it's supposed to pick up to 25 knots later in the afternoon. But right now all we have, or all I can notice anyways, is the wind chop, which is only like about a foot or two. So it's some quite perfect conditions as far as what I like, because there's enough wind, the seas are fairly small. We're doing 4.5 knots right now, and there's still a wee bit of current against us. So we should be picking up speed pretty soon as the wind picks up too. With the new generator on board and running, it's a Champion 4500 watts. I have a 3000 watt charger that the Honda cannot handle at all, and the only charger that I can run off the 2000 watt Honda is a 1000 watt charger, which puts out about actually 800 watts, which that's about a knot for me, and so it's more practical for if I'm at anchor and I'm trying to top off the batteries. Meanwhile, with the bigger generator, I can go about 3.5 knots continuously, so that's kind of a big deal to be able to go further for longer, because here in British Columbia the winds are not reliable at all, and it's all about weather planning with the setup that I have right now. And I had to wait in Port Hardy for a week for the right weather window because it was all like 3-4 meter seas and above, and the wind wasn't ideal, so I really didn't want to go out there in big seas and not have enough wind to counter the seas. We're now just reaching the point where I can go into a jibe. So the way I jibe with this boat is a little bit different, I think, than the way most people do it. Because I have my boom bags are also, there's 2 of them, and they're used as preventers. Because my rig is so tight together, I have to make sure that boom stays low, otherwise it hits the backstays and creates a really chaotic situation. So, start by releasing the preventer. But I don't want to release it completely. That's it. We are officially past Cape Caution, so we're on the Central Coast. And I haven't been here since July 2020, so that's it's nice to be home. Well, the wind completely died, so we're motoring, and it's a little bit more than what we can afford in battery, so I'm running the generator.